questions and just take questions from the audience. And I have one here, and it says conflicting wants. So apparently this person sort of is trying to find his or her path, and but what he or she wants is really two opposite ends of the pole. So he wants to do something around finance, and he also wants to do people development as a core. And then he's asking, or she is asking, how did each of you find your path?
I feel like
let's start from the COO. Yes, I think that's a fantastic place to start.
I think it's a good question, and my story is just like this. I studied sciences, secondary school, in the university, but I knew that, even then, it's not as if I did any planning per se, but I knew that this chemistry, this biology, that I'm very pillar to post for, is not what I wanted to do. And I think it was, I don't know if it was Fatima or where they talked about knowing yourself and then just accepting the way you are. And I boldly say it every time that it was peer pressure that made me do sciences when I was in secondary school. I failed my, what's that course you do for you to move to SS? Do you know what? Yeah. I failed woefully.
Wow.
I failed woefully. And I remember the guardian and counselor was telling me, this your results. You cannot do science. I said, no, this is what I want. I want to be a doctor. And I remember even then, even till now, I when I want to take injection, I'm still very afraid. And people was like, this your result cannot take. I said no. And then when I was in tertiary school then, they talk about people that were in red. When you're in red, maybe SS were red, like you are odd. Like that's a major sign. Then yellow, then the other colors like purple, green were just people were in art. So I know that no, I want to, but I've forgotten that it doesn't really matter. So I did these courses, but because I'm someone that I just, whatever I find doing, I just do it well. I also these courses. When I came out of Fergo then, instead of me to now change, I couldn't change. I was just stuck. I was just having this thing in my head that it's only big girls and big guys and sciences. I cannot do anything else.
And that was
my God! I went into Unilag, full science. Well, when after my year one, I think it was chemistry that showed me, but I was like, no, I can't do this. What I did, I started to intern. First thing, I noticed that I love the media, I love planning. I just like to be busy. Like, I get really agitated when I'm just sitting in the place. So I started to pay attention. Even then, I didn't write it down, but I just always bring it to my consciousness that this is really what you want to do. So, and every event in Unilag then, whether you can make it events, motivational, name it. Like, if you go to the months that Unilag and they are having anything about career, you always find people who say, I had this friend, her name is Fatima. Fatima will tell me, Mookie, this month, you are talking about how to be big. I'll carry out tight scarf, I'll follow her. Chapel, I was not a Catholic, but when the Catholics were having events, you will see me there. It was so bad, people just like, give me a high five. I said, and to be honest, I didn't know what I was looking for there. But I just knew that where I was, I don't want to do sciences. I don't want to be in the lab or whatever it is. I didn't really see myself in it. I didn't find a mentor or a community at the time to be able to guide me, because I did not find. So I was just like, anything, anywhere my left face, let's just do it. So I attended a lot of events within an outside school. And then I realized, okay, I think I like the media. And after I realized, okay, I think I like the development space. Then I started to volunteer. I started to volunteer since my year 2.
Wow.
And by the time I was done in Unilag, I could compete anywhere.
Wow.
Because I was volunteering. In fact, my first paying job was 7,500 naira. I say with all boldness.
Wow.
Like, I was, you volunteer sometimes, you trek, and The only things I was volunteering then were just on Unilag Road. So I walk from New Hall. I will walk to the office. I will walk back. And I was always finding it interesting because I now saw that there were other young people like myself who were also very relentless. Who just wanted to just... Then I started to listen. The radio was really key then. So I started to listen to the radio. I started to go on... Bella Nigeria was a blog at the time. So I go on Bella Nigeria, I will read. I will do a lot of things. I was just doing different things. In fact, I was confused myself. So what I would advise the person is... You like development space. You like the finance. Whichever one you can find to maybe that will be paying you your daily bill, because even when you volunteer, you also need the financial support. We can choose whichever one that is paying you well and just stick with it. And then at your leisure time, weekends, even till now, I volunteer for organizations. Like I was telling you that I am a founding member of Dare to Inspire, owned by Queen B. It's focused on Muslim women, supporting Muslim women in businesses. Like I still volunteer because I just feel that I just want to keep learning. Just volunteer. If it's the development space, what aspect? And it's so good now that things are a bit more accessible on the internet. Go on the internet, read. When she was asking the question, I was just like, Miriam doesn't know that this question you're asking is an attack on me. Because every time, even though I was doing those things, I always find excuses. I am the queen of procrastination. I'm working on it. I procrastinate a lot. And it was like, I would just say 2020 was like a turning point. All of it, like I paid for courses and I did not attend.
Wow.
And I will give you justifiable reasons why I cannot attend because I am busy or I am doing something.
That was that meeting.
The report, you know, I will always give an answer. When you, even when you say like, you just because I feel like it was not helping me. And last year, the certification I paid 3 years ago, I had to sit, write the exams, and I now realized that if I had taken this certification 3 years ago, I would have benefited a lot from it. But thank God, at least I've taken it down. The courses I was telling that happened, I know what's business course before they will now tell me they will not give me certificate. I've always wanted to be in the tech space.
Right.
And this feeling or this interest has always been there since Unilag days. Even though I ended up in the social sector space and I was able to like organize trainings for people who want to code and everything. I love this, but I was not paying attention to it. I did not do the things that will help me to finally place myself in social sector space. I paid for a big data with Python. Last year, the school followed up. Is there a problem? Are you sure you are okay? No, my matter is really deep. Wow. I just called them generally. I want to take the course. I was like, sorry. From where to where? Oh. But even though that, I didn't allow that discouragement. I was like, okay, this is what you really want. Why don't you just put effort and stop trying to be saying because you plan technology events or a tech person. No, you're not a tech person. You don't even have the background knowledge. So I said it because. So please volunteer. If you cannot volunteer, look for an internship. If they don't pay you, you can maybe weigh your options. It's okay not to be paid. Like I can count the number of free things. Like my volunteering opportunity, just volunteer was probably to Red.
Wow.
I was not being paid as a volunteer, and I was doing it happily because I got to meet people, I got to learn a lot. And even after I volunteered, I worked in other places, and then I came back. I was brought in as the communication intern, and I was asked to manage something with the Future project and Future Awards, and I did it. Like the people who are interns, they just say, because how much they are always very proud, 15K, and when the 15K lands, when the 15K lands, I remember they will put money together to just go and buy provisions in the office, just like, we've arrived, our money has arrived, and we're always very happy about that. I'm not saying you should maybe go and intern and get 15K.
Yes.
Whatever works for you. Just do. If you have to volunteer, go and volunteer. No knowledge gain. And if you really have interest in it, please just go for it.
Just go for it.
And there are lots of organizations now you can just You can volunteer. You can intern weekends. The evenings after work, do something. I think that's just,
if you now see the one that matches you or you think you can
exactly, and it worked for me, and I'm sure it's going to work for someone else.
I have two other questions. So, but the way I want to structure it is because I also have, we all have your Bibles anyway, and I think that one fits one more than the other. So I'm just going to share the question. Now, I think I will go to Fatima first. Said, why do people like telling people what to do? This person is sounding very random. Why do people like telling people what to do? People keep telling me I shouldn't be doing what I do, but I don't believe them. Do I have a problem?
Well, you don't. You don't have a problem, because in the first place, you're not supposed to be told what to do. You're supposed to find it out yourself what you should be doing, because you know why you're doing what you're doing. That should be the first thing. So I don't think anyone in this 21st century should be told what to do. That answers the question.
Very simple.
Just know that.
Very simple. So, yeah, I hope that whoever asked this question, I hope you've heard, people should not tell you what to do. You should find it in yourself. And next time when they come at you to tell you, we told you not to do this, why?
Because you have a reason why.
Yes, give them a why.
Yes.
And then let them know that the why is actually your why. They can either take it or leave it. So long as it is putting you on the right path, please just.
I'm struggling with that answer though.
Okay.
Well, you shouldn't be told what to do, blanket. There's sometimes where people see you and they see what you don't see.
Okay.
It is. I think there's a need to sieve the counsel you get,
Oh,
and of course it depends on who is given.
Okay.
It's not random humans on social media. Even your parents and your spouse and your siblings, you sieve what they say. But sometimes there's truth in those that are close to you, that see you. Because sometimes what we're doing, we're actually hiding in that thing. We're playing small. We're trying to be like, okay, this one, and if I do it, I'll get 10 over 10. But they know that if you push a little bit more, you will do it just as well. But because you're too scared, you're not. So they're saying that, okay, just try this one as well. You know, we know you can't do it. Some people actually, your cheerleaders, they're just encouraging you and nudging you in that direction they see, right? So I would say to sieve the counsel you're getting. As adults, we kind of have to parent ourselves. Even your parents, when they come and say do this and that, you should process it and decide what works and what doesn't work for you. Even at the point our kids are like in SS1, 2, 3, they should be able to generally choose the direction they're going in life. You don't paste your own dream you abandoned on them and say, okay, now you be a doctor and that one is a lawyer and that one's an architect. Because my father wanted that and he didn't get it, so I'm going to fulfill your grandfather's dreams through you. No. As adults, we should be able to process things. So the anger that comes across in that question, I think it may be fed from the lack of self-surety. I shouldn't be so mad if you're telling me if I'm sure of what I'm doing. So there's a
she needs to also examine herself.
So you should go back and look at what you're doing also. Look at who is telling you that you should stop
Exactly,
doing that.
like you said, you sieve the counsel that you're getting.
Thank you, Ron. I mean, that's why we have this amazing women on set to give you from different perspectives, so that you can look at it and say, okay, I think it's a lot more sense from the initial one. So, Ron, the last question is really, I'm taking this question to you because I mean, you did 15 years in IT, and you left IT to become a stable mom, and people started telling you, what's that?
Oh,
are you okay? Are you normal? Do you understand?
How did that happen?
Exactly.
How were you able to cope?
Yeah, maybe she didn't just
Which part of it?
Of people's feedback
the
on
depression, why did you leave?
Oh, okay, so correction. I started off in IT. I did retail for 15 years.
Okay.
So IT was off and on, maybe roughly 6-7 years. So start, stop, right? The last stint was 2000 to 2013, and I was with SAP, an amazing company. Tayo, my guy anytime, best boss ever. Okay, so how did I cope with that backlash? So what Mariam is alluding to is that, so I went back to full-time employment. Let me start from, I was working, I gotten married, I was expecting a baby. I left full-time work. Then, because I couldn't just sit my behind at home doing nothing, I started trading. So I was trading 10 years-ish, had 3 amazing girls. Went back to work. So going back to work, I loved it. You know, as I said, my boss, Tayo, it was a forward-looking company. You know, you're meeting expert trades. You're doing things different from the regular Nigerian stiff system. Tayo allowed this one that you're just doing. What is it that working at home now? I was working from home. Girls, 2011, 12. I was doing 2 days from home. So I'll be working, I'm a night owl. I can work till 3 in the morning and send in my reports and I'll crash. Maybe I'll take the kids to school or their father will take them, but I loved it. It worked for me. When he allowed me to work from home, I could pick my kids up at 2 and I'd be so happy that I can see these children broad daylight in their school. I didn't used to work late, we close at 5 or 6. But because I was a night owl, it could be that time my head is not correct to work for the day. So I could work till 8 or 9. Anyway, so one thing led to another, I had to leave Oryx Computers, the SAP company. And because for some reason the people around me felt, oh yeah, now finally she's doing real work. Meaning my 15 years, at that time, 13 years in trade was just, let Osha be looking at her. And I had gone from selling from my boots in offices to having one shop. It was in that road, Yaba. One shop there with my partner Jane, and then I had another store in Ilupeju. So I had 2 stores. Then I opened another store in Aja. Bad idea. Shrunk back to 2 outlets. Then I left work because I was stretched crazy thin. It was too much. I missed that being able to look after my kids because I would do homework with them. When my first did common entrance, okay, at this point she was about to do common entrance, and the joy of helping her and working her through it was something I looked forward to. So I left work, and then it was like, you shouldn't have left work. People around me just kind of went crazy. I was now not feeling myself so much. It was like, did I make a mistake? I thought I was going to get support for this decision to stay back and look after the family. I did not. Unfortunately, the dollar crashed against, the Naira crashed against the dollar 2015. And so, the capital that I had became almost nothing. So, it was just a lot of stuff. I was falling ill. My sales girls were misbehaving. One day I just said, you know what? Shut down the business. So I wasn't working. I shut down the business totally. I didn't even want to go trade in anybody's office. So because I didn't know what was going on, I kind of just spiraled out of control and went into depression. It's now in retrospect, I can say that was depression. I didn't know what it was. I didn't feel like seeing anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody. If you call me, I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, okay, when you're tired, you hang up. I don't want to talk to you. Nobody, as in no one. Then my mother passed. Just before all this drama began. And I do not think that I actually mourned her.
The way you have wanted to at the time.
Yeah, I don't think I did. It wasn't that she was sick, but she had the surgery and one thing led to another and she passed on. So many basketballs back to back, and it just took me out. And I was out for at least like 18 months until early 2015 when I was in this class. I've always been one to be learning and to be curious about stuff I didn't know about. I don't know if you guys know about Place4Ware. So many humans that have come across in this lifetime. But Praise stands out because I was following him on BlackBerry, and he would share all sorts of things, and I was curious about NLP, personal development. So when NLP was coming to Lagos via Innocent Minds, Praise told me, in fact, I was supposed to do with Larry Lushola, but it was so expensive, I couldn't afford it. Yes, I couldn't afford him in 2014. So when Innocent came in 2015, I jumped on it. I had some cash, and that was it. And sitting in that class for 1 week, I just saw that everything I had been doing, the way you said, brings me to where I am today, which is perfect. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I have no apologies for decisions I made because I made them, I chose, which is my cardinal principle in life. Be conscious of the choices you are making. And as I told my friend this morning, own the result with your chest. Whether it's working or it didn't work. Own it with your chest, because it is in the failing you actually learn. The successes, you just ride it for a while and then you're on to the next thing. So that training that year is what was the beginning of snapping out of the depression, and it was just continuous work between then and I would say maybe 2019, so that's 4 years. You know, you said something about journaling. I used to love to write. I used to write a lot, but I forgot. And that's the thing, you know, as women, you get married, you have children, and then you forget your essence. You forget to serve yourself. You forget to love yourself with your love language. We were sitting in class in one of the NLP certifications, and Chimamanda Ngozi comes on the screen. And you know, she has this cheeky, mischievous way she talks, and she's laughing in her voice. You can hear the laughter when she's talking. I'm like, well, I can do this now. Didn't I used to do something like this? I kind of used to write, didn't I? And then it clicked. Journaling was the therapy I needed.
That's the second time.
And that's, yeah. People kick against all sorts of things, personal development. But try it before you throw it out.
Maybe I should just put the question here and just say, because this person is asking, he doesn't want to drop his career, he doesn't want to drop his business, he wants to do both. And how do you think that he can do that?
It depends on how intense the other one is.
The business, right?
Yeah, the business. So this is a learning I just got, was it last year? One of my many trainings. This one was even a coach that volunteered to give us like a $15,000 training for 100 days for free. I was just blessed to be in that community. And I was fighting this battle internally with myself. I just said I love to write. So I love my journaling and I love the writing I do. And I would love to write every day. You know, that's our dream, writers. Just go to somewhere on the beach and write your heart. But that won't pay your bills.
Yes, true.
So Rich Living says you gotta work for either the cash or the sexy work is the work you enjoy doing. You can do it for free. The cash work needs to bring in the money. Sometimes you have to put your head down and do the cash work. Bring in the money. Then you have that freedom
To do
the one that is sexy. Because you can't function when you have pressure of bills. Your children don't want to know whether it's passion you are chasing.
Yes.
They need to eat, they need to go to school. You can't say it is my passion, that's why the landlord kicked us out. The responsible thing is to put food on the table, and even if it's just for you, clothes on your back, right? So that the pressure is off, then you have the mind space to pursue this thing that you say is a passion or a desire you have. And I can't remember who said this. There's 9 to 5, and there's 5 to 9. Make it work.
I mean, that answered that some stuff. Thank you. Thank you so much. I would have asked Bukola about the pressure to excel, if it's okay to be where you are, but we've also touched about that severally. Like it's okay to be where you are at this moment, at this time. It's something that is ordained, and maybe even from your own actions or even from your destiny, whichever one. But it's actually okay to be where you are. But very briefly, if you were to say it is not okay to be where you are, do you agree that it is not okay to be where you are? And if you do, very briefly, why do you think that?
At the point when you realize it's not okay where you are, you have to first acknowledge that you made the wrong choices, and what do you now do to get out of it? So I think first, get help. There is nothing wrong in getting help. There is nothing wrong in getting help. Drop your ego. Get help. I used to be very, very... I didn't really like the mentorship-mentee relationship. I think for me it was a two-way thing.
We have a question on that.
One, we have a lot of unserious mentees. On the other hand, a lot of people just carrying the mentor who are actually not present. So what's the essence of having a mentor? The mentor is not holding your hands and showing you this was the part. And then again, sometimes we have mentors out of, okay, let me just have a mentor. You know that this mentor will not get you to where you're going to. This mentor is maybe not in the field of your interests. So I used to be very, very that like this mentor thing, I don't understand it. But recently, I've actually realized that having a mentor is really good. But you need to identify who the mentor is. What do you want to get out of this mentor-mentee relationship? And then you need to get serious about it. It's not the mentorship that you will not talk to each other for months. I just like, oh, whenever we don't talk to each other for one month, when we see each other, we sort of click. What are you doing?
You're not your best friend.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know your friend. What are you clicking? Like, for you to make it work, you have to have a plan. This is where I'm going to. You sit with the mentor. The mentor will tell you, okay, X and X and X, this is what works for me. Let me speak to a few of my friends. Let me put in a word for you. If the mentor is not doing that, please fire the mentor. And if the mentee also is not listening to you, fire the mentee.
But there's a question that says, should I have a mentor in for every business and then for my career?
Person should calm down first. See, if the person has the bandwidth to manage 10 mentors with 10 interests, but how do you want to, like, maybe it's just me, I don't know if anyone needs somehow feedback on that, but one step at a time. Sometimes, even as mentees, we don't know what we are. Sometimes just shadowing someone that this person is something this person is doing something I really like. I cannot be like this person or with a tweak of XYZ. You can shadow someone and the person doesn't even know that this person is watching my footsteps. This person is learning from me. And there's nothing wrong with shadowing. There's nothing wrong with shadowing. Now maybe now balance the shadowing with having maybe other 5 mentors, have a mentor with for self-care, have a mentor with this, have a mentor with that, provided that you're able to keep, and when the mentor gives you an assignment, you do it. Don't waste each other's time. So another thing is having an accountability partner. You know, sometimes the mentor wants you to do an assignment, you will forget. Then you now be ID for the mentor. 2 months, 3 months. Like I work with like teenagers, and I can tell you for a fact it can be so frustrating. I will just look at them looking at me. When you are ready, you come around. Do you understand? But you have to have an accountability partner that will hold you responsible. That okay, you say you're going to do this thing. You say you're going to do XYZ at least this month. How far with it? And if the accountability partner is not holding you accountable, change your accountability partner. You know, sometimes we can be friends, but we're not on the same journey. Our journeys are different. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for using that answer to our question. We still have a question in chat, but I'll just go with the final questions from our own list, and we'll take the final question in chat. I'm going to go to Fatima. So in all of this that we've been saying, when does it become essential to protect your mental well-being? I mean, it's a very, we are seeing a lot of mental health stuff.
And everything mental health I see mental health as a very delicate topic. So when it's much, it's like a topic on its own. But while I am a staunch believer of pursuing your dreams, achieving your goals, being passionate, taking care of yourself, loving yourself, it is very, very important to put your mental health first. It is very important to take good care of your mental well-being. Putting your mental health first is very much important in all of this, pursuing your dreams, because you don't want to end up being overwhelmed and you forget things that are very much of much importance. So mental space, in my own simple definition, is your freedom, the freedom of your spirit to be. Like, study yourself, cut out distractions and comparisons, unnecessary comparisons, and comparing yourself to strangers on the internet because Mr. A is like doing this. There was a post I found on Twitter, and somebody said he found out that these people that come on Twitter to say, "Oh, I got my first car at 16 or something." These abroad people that come and say, "My first car at 16." That they have the person. It was actually a trade, so the person took time to break everything down. That they probably get a loan or maybe a student loan or something, and then they pay this BS on installments.
Like a very long period of time.
I didn't even know until I read that particular trade. So, and I'm so sure that there are some of us that will be like, 16, you have your car, your Rolls Royce, and look at me, I'm 20 something, I don't even have
Tire.
I don't even have rug out here. So things like that, cut out distractions, cut out guilt and comparison, cut out fear, put your mental health first.
Thank you.
Physical, take care of yourself too. Yes, because there's no way you want to be mentally and emotionally okay when you're not physically good. And little things as getting enough sleep, eating well, exercising your body.
Your mic is loud. Get enough sleep. Your mic is loud.
Getting enough sleep, exercising. Those little things that add to your mental well-being that are very much important.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bural, I'll give you the last question for you. So, when is it okay to shut people out? If at all you have to shut them out. You're trying to. Why the noise is too
Let me see, when do I shut people out? When they are not aligning with what is going on inside of me. If what you're saying doesn't align with who I am, I'm going to block you out. I don't want either toxicity or duplicity or confusion. I tend to shut out loud people. If you can come peacefully to communicate, then we can reason together. But if you agree, like, pardon my French, and ask, I'm not likely to listen to you. So there needs to be an alignment in what you're saying, even if it's totally different from what I believe. Your way of coming forward with your argument matters. Respect me enough to see that I consider it, and respect me enough when I consider it, I don't agree with it. It should be fine. You don't need to. There's somebody I know who literally wants you to do it exactly the way she wants. She wants you to feel it exactly the way she wants you to feel it. And she will take you up big time if you don't feel it that way. So I've learned to, I'll just block you. It's simple, and I don't pick your calls. Because it's my mental health at the end of it. Because I find I can get anxious, I can get afraid. I have had panic attack where I went from just maybe being in my house in my PJs to dressing up and driving to an estate in 10 minutes.
Wow.
I was dressed and out of my house. What was chasing me? Anxiety. Anything could have happened. I could have hurt somebody, I could have gotten hurt. So I'm not going to let another person trigger me so badly that I will self-harm or get into trouble. So it's about self-preservation at the end of it. It's not about being a snob or being difficult. You need to know what works for you. So people have the armor, they can take it. It's fine. Some of us are tender and soft, and there's only so much that we can let in. So just know what works for you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Bukola, last one for you. What kind of support should somebody who is on this kind of a journey seek for? What's your advice that you have?
Okay, I think it's some of the things you already mentioned in the course of the discussion. First things first, get a community, whether your religious background or platforms such as this. Get community, get a mentor, get an accountability partner. Sometimes you pay for some of these sessions that will help you just self-reflect. If you can't afford it, just look for a place, just even if it's 2 hours a day, just shut everything down. Take a break from the internet, take a break from TV. Just go to a place of solitude and just have like self-reflection is really key. And sometimes when I didn't have money, sometimes I just take a bus, or sometimes I drive to University of Lagos Lagoon front and just sit. Look at the lagoon. Look at the crabs. I recently discovered in December, one of my friends told me, okay, there's another place in Ikoyi, Riverside. There are lots of crickets there. Just watch how the crickets are coming and out of the pool. You know, just as a way of just putting things out on your mind, just putting it out. Another thing that has worked for me is our faith. In all of this, really can't take God. Pray, praise, talk to God. Like, it's actually not far. It's not far. Like, keep talking, talk to him like as you would talk to your friend or as you would talk to your parent. You know, always pray. Join communities, stay happy. Sometimes you can just, even if you don't have money to go out to a place, you can just sometimes just off your internet, off your phones, and just go to the bedroom and take a bath. And you know sometimes there's a thing I tried. You know, sometimes we can do something and you're not present. You didn't know that you're like, okay, I think I put my phone in my bag. No, I don't think so. Then go back. You know, realize the phone is in your bag. It means that we're not present. We're just doing this thing. We're just being spontaneous about it. Sometimes we take our bath and then you just like, that wash this one. Am I sure?
That happens when you're doing ablution as well.
Yes.
You
You
just-
like 4 times.
You don't now be like, even though I was taking my bath, my mind was
Somewhere else.
like, sometimes just shut everything out. 2 hours, 3 hours, going to the bedroom. Can spend 30 minutes just bathing your legs and just bathe your leg. just because you're just like, oh, I thank God that this leg
It's
has taken me to places, or it's taking me to places. I'm happy that my eyes can see, and just keep watching. There's this thing, because last year I suffered a lot of breakout acne, and I went to see the dermatologist, and then she told me, there's really nothing wrong with you, I think you're just sure. Because that lockdown stretched me, like, and I'm happy for it because I came out better. It stretched me, and then she told me, just take 1 hour, wash your face. I was like, what happened? She was like, no, Kola, just be deliberate about it. She would talk, I said, so I'll just be washing. I was like, no, wash it. Rinse it. Apply the rest, just keep washing. Just keep washing. And then you just realize that those are just little things that you do to yourself that you don't take it for granted. So they just go into the bedroom and just take your bath. Spend time on your hands. And while you're spending time on your hands, thank God for the hands, for what the hands will do, for what the hands have done. Just spend time in all of these things. So it has helped me, and I hope it will also.
I mean, amazing words. Although we have a last question, but I will just allow us to go with our final words. So what are the final words for the last question is coming to you, so for your final words, you will answer that. So what are the last final words, very briefly, that you have for people that are listening to us right now? So I'll start with Fatima. Let's do this way.
Even as Bob agreed that we're imperfect.
I wanted to ask to finish, but I say, did I agree?
Well, I've agreed that we're all imperfect. Did you not agree?
I agree.
Yeah. But I used to tell myself that I won't stop pursuing greatness. I won't settle because I am imperfect. I'll just do what I have to do, and I won't like task myself to being a better and a better version of me. So I'll tell that we should continue to dream big, continue to grow, continue to learn. We can't stop learning. We learn every day. I've learned a lot here today. So continue to learn, continue to build, continue to unlearn
And relearn.
old and negative stuff and relearn positivity. Continue to embrace optimism and
Thank you.
don't stop and never quit. Continue to try. If you fall or you fail, try again and never stop trying, because greatness is actually a gradual process. It's not a one-day thing. So always do something.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Fatima. We're all laughing about you.
Alright, two things. Off of what Buki said, as people of faith, at the end of everything, it comes down to God and what He enables you, and not using them as an excuse too, but how far you push yourself to actualize that word again. Everything He has given you, because we will account for all the amazing potentials He has given us. We're going to account for it, whether you are Muslim or otherwise. There's a mission here for you to do, no matter how seemingly trivial it is. If it's to keep Lagos streets clean, that's what your work, that dirt will not fly through somebody's window and distract him and cause him to swerve on third mainland. You do it excellently, as well as you can. So we have something we carry that we're supposed to deliver. And when it gets tough, we need to remember to return to God. We shouldn't wait for it to get tough. We should always be connected, sincerely. If we're always connected to Him, when we need the extra resource to take care of difficult situations, it will come easier. It's not that it will be totally easy, but it will be easier because we have like a deposit of constant communication. Added to that is the need for, yes, you pray, you do your salah, you pray to God. You also need to learn to be silent. Some people would say it's meditation. We do Qiyam al-Layl, we do Tahajjud, we wake up earlier than the 5:30 a.m. summer prayer, and you sit and talk to your Creator. You need that space. Buki said, taking 2 hours to just be by yourself. It's critical. We're always going. We're like people with a crazy monkey in our head that is just running riot. When you can calm down, you get insights that won't come from any business analytics. There's some things that is just your soul that will lead you to. There are places you would go, very arbitrary, and you'll be shocked at how it will ripple into something amazing. So silence, you deliberately orchestrate it, maybe very early in the morning or sometime during the day, just 10 minutes. You get to your office and you calm down in your car before you go and join the buzz of the day. Late in the evening too. Fantastic. So, and then finally is, I'm big on being deliberate about what you choose to do. Don't go autopilot through life. No, that's a sad way to live, to get to the end of your life and realize I could have done X, Y, Z, but I just went with the flow. And the flow is where the masses are going. And the masses have gotten it wrong. If you're following the masses, you're one of them. It's just the end that is not missing, right? So it's very important. You choose what happens per day, per week, per month, per year, and ultimately in your life.
Thank you for that beautiful reminder. So, because I'm going to just drop a question for you and add it to your final word. And it says, in trying to build, so the way I think this was in saying that our parents told us what they wanted us to do from what they thought was best, and then he or she is trying to do the same with our kids or his kids. Do you think that this is safe, given that we're saying that people have their own choice, their own pathway? So this one, in this case, is particular to kids, not adults. So just in your final words, just talk to
I think don't project yourself on your children. Why would you want to do that? Let them be. Let them be. The only thing you have, or the only responsibility you have in their life is just to guide them, because God has chosen you to oversee those children. So don't project yourself. Sometimes we sometimes find ourselves doing the things we blame our parents for. Yeah. Subconsciously, we just try to, in a subtle manner, we will just use our own because we're already a bit exposed. We're trying to, but no, let them be. And with the way things are even going now, one of my friends will say, okay, I'm in the wrong profession. Because she works in an entertainment space. She's an accountant there. She'll say, if you know what this artist, you know how much we just paid this artist. God, Buki. Oh, Buki, I should have been an artist. I would just laugh, But then, don't force people, let them be. And we've now realized that some of these things that we feel they are hobbies and all of that, people are actually making a living out of it. So let them be, encourage them. Once you find out that, okay, this early, they started to tilt towards a particular field, get help for them. YouTube is there, let them go and learn more about the things. If they want to go, let them go on YouTube. If you need to get a learning partner for them, let them get a learning partner. It's even better for them to even learn it young. Yeah. So, parting words for me, in addition, I think you've said it all, is invest, not save. See, I kind of like the way the fintech space is going now, because a lot of times, even the traditional accounts, the traditional banks, when you put your money in banks, you realize that there is actually nothing. And I know even as Muslims, there is an ethical way of investing. Please invest. Even if it is 1,000 naira a month, I beg you invest. Remember what Ora said about when you are financially stable. I'm just trying to paraphrase what she said. Once you're financially stable, then you can know that you want to. It was when Bill Gates was stable. He started to think of the development, what he wanted to do. Yes. He wants to change the world. Yes. He wants to do X, he wants to do Y. Money answers all things. You need money to do good. So please, save. And while you are at it, enjoy life. Live. Be happy. Once you realize that you are not happy, why am I not happy? Oh, Wura did X, Y, Z. Go back to Wura and talk to Wura. Get to the root of the reason why you are not happy. And then just snap out of it. Please just be happy and beg you in the name of God. Like, I am a very serious person. And I know that deep down, even though I'm a serious person, I still like to just have fun. But I'm being deliberate about it now. And my friend will tell me, Buki, let's live life. I have only 1,000 in my account. See, you don't have to maybe travel abroad and travel within Nigeria. There's a lot of exciting places you even go to within Nigeria. Yes. I remember the last time I went to Bauchi, I went to Gombe, I discovered new people, new places, I made friends. Do what makes you happy. Just live. Because you don't want to look back and then you're now like, I should have done this thing. Like one of them will tell me, how can I not do it if I know say that this thing will make my for not they do have things. But you are never too old. Whenever I think there's an adage, let me just paraphrase that when you realize this is the money, it is your money. Yes. Just live, just enjoy life, be happy, be joyful. The last time I attended the Joy of class student that was organization, the Joy of meeting, and they started the meeting and I was before they just threw the question to what are you joyful about? Like I was on this, which one is please let's have the meeting and just move. Why are you asking what am I joyful about? Yes. And they all started laughing at me. And then in that space I realized that what am I trying to do? I couldn't I froze. I didn't know. I didn't know what to like.
It was strange to you.
Yeah, I was like, in a meeting people asking, what are you grateful for? What are you know, Shelley? Please, leave me should leave me alone. But I just realized that sometimes we are just clouded with the things that are not working. The things that are not making you happy. Identify it. Put it away. Try to solve it if you can. There's some things we can't actually change.
Yes.
You know, just let it be. Live, enjoy life, chop life. Don't chop life negatively. Chop life. Do the things, positive things that will make you happy. The things you've always wanted to do. If you want to learn, if you always wanted to play chess, go and learn chess. If you, like I told you, I wanted to always be in the tech space to know what they are even saying. I don't want to be blank when I attend meetings. I have to go and learn big data for Python. The first 3 classes, I was just like, who sent me? But I'm enjoying it because it's what I was, and it's making me happy. So I had to go and learn it. Just do whatever will make you happy. And please don't forget to invest. It's important. When you make the money, then you can start to do good.
Thank you so very much to our speakers. Thank you all for your very insightful experience, sharing skills and all of the beautiful things that you brought to the table. And I'm going to close the session with a quote from Jenny Brown that says, owning your life cannot be hard. Right? Owning your life cannot be hard, but it will be difficult if you keep running away from it. And so I leave you with this quote, and I hope that before we meet again next month, 3 p.m., last Sunday of every month, and we bring you this webinar series, we will have you in a space that is beautiful, perfect, loved, beloved, and everything that you want. Stay safe, stay well, and goodbye.
Goodbye.